cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is For Women Wednesday. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by my co-host, K Money, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And welcome to another Women Wednesday. Okay, depending on who you ask, there are some people who believe that men have it harder in society than women. Now, fellas, without explaining why, what gender has it harder in society, male or female?
I'm gonna say male, man.
Ooh, man,
For years, we've been going through it, bro.
We have. I am torn because of the eras, I guess. The era is the big reason.
Don't explain why.
I'm not gonna explain
Just tell
why.
me who.
K Money, go ahead. I need to think on this.
Repeat the question, please.
Okay. Who has it harder in society? Males or females?
Yeah, I'm gonna say males.
That's a loaded question.
It is.
It's a loaded question, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go with females.
Okay. Well, this is gonna be interesting because two of you guys said males, and Comedian 96 and myself say females. Now, before we dive into today's topics, let me ask, as a kid, do y'all recall any man speaking to y'all in a positive manner about life, whether it be at school, at church, at a community center, Little League sports, etc.? If so, who was he? What do you recall? And how did it have a positive impact on your life?
Let me go first. Comedian 96. I had quite a few positive influences in my life, positive peoples, but the one person I want to speak on is a guy in the military, Michael Stevenson. Matter of fact, he's from Dallas, Texas, matter of fact. And
As a kid, we're talking about?
I was still 18. I was 18. So I was still a kid. To me, I was still a kid.
Yeah, you're still a kid at
Yeah,
55.
I'm still a kid right now, but I was really a kid at 18. So the positive things that he did, he first started off just being mean. Well, to me, I thought it was mean. When I turned in he was my supervisor, but he ended up being my mentor, like I said. Well, I would turn in my leave chit. I would write it.
What's the leave chit?
A leave chit is to take vacation, PTO, part-time off. So I would fill it in with a pen and pencil. He'd throw it back and say, I need you to type this up. I would come to work with an unironed uniform. Well, it'd be ironed, but no creases. So, no, you need to go back out there and go, you're unsanitary. You need to go iron that uniform, put some creases in there. And the whole time he was being mean, he was really grooming me for the outside world. He said, man, and then he sat me down one day and had a long 3-hour talk. He said, man, when you go out here to these people, man, and you're trying to do stuff, you're halfway doing it. You're not being, you're just doing anything. He said, you got to do better than that. And you black. You're gonna have to go above and beyond because of you. He broke it down to me. So then after that, I've always had a creased uniform. I always typed everything up. So he had a very positive impact on me as far as stuff like that. So
And what's his name again?
Michael Stevenson.
Shout out to Michael Stevenson. What about you, K Money?
For me, man, like Comedian 96, I had several guys that had an impact, but I think the one that had the most would be my Pyran or Godfather, Terry Phillips. It wasn't anything specifically that he said. It was just his actions. You know, he led. He taught me by leading, and even though we weren't in the same household, whenever I was in his presence, it was a lesson that was being taught, and structure and how to act as a young man. He would always shoot me little nuggets that at the time I don't think I picked it up as nuggets. Because as kids, we hit one thing, and it can go through one ear and out the other, more or less. It don't stick. But as I got older, I could see the lessons more clearer now. It's making it a lot of the things that I experienced with him. It makes a lot of more sense to me now that I'm an adult, and it's, he was kind of strict and disciplinarian, which is it taught me somewhat how to be disciplinarian, which I feel could have been a little too strict, but I wouldn't have done it any other way. I appreciate the time and the lessons to learn. And again, this is my godfather. May he rest in peace.
And his name again?
Terry Phillips.
Shout out to Terry Phillips.
R.I.P.
Slash, what about yourself?
So I would have to say, man, my dad, man, played a big role in my childhood years and learning basically for adulthood. He had a lot of positive messages to give, a lot of positive things said, a lot of knowledge was given, from his experiences. So I could say I got it firsthand from my dad, man. And one of the things that really stuck with me that I kind of live by is he said that this one thing, several things he had, but this one would always stick. Self-preservation comes first. Basically what he's meaning is if you take care of yourself, you can take care of everything else that goes on around you. But if you can't take care of yourself, you can't help nobody do nothing, so I took what he said and I used it, and not to say that it's being selfish, because it's not. When you have to take care of you, you have to take care of you at all means, no exceptions, or you can't help nobody. So that's what I took from him. I got from him, and there was one other that he said that still to this day, it's kind of shifty, but he made this statement saying, always keep your nose clean. Now, what I think he meant from that had nothing to do with drugs or nothing like that, but just make sure you're a man of your word. Don't get yourself in no trouble that you can't get out of. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he meant by keep your nose clean, man. Stay clean in the street. Don't have nobody looking for you because you did them wrong or nothing like that, So a lot, man, I got from him, and it's helped me through a lot of situations in life, especially the self-preservation part. So I do appreciate that. May he rest in peace. Shout out Pops.
And his name?
James Morgan.
Shout out to James Morgan.
Yeah, all right.
So check this out. For me, this is the first time I've ever shared this story. Now, I do have several individuals that made a positive impact, but this particular individual here, I was in high school. This particular individual is actually a celebrity. So y'all may recall this. So this individual is Montel Williams.
Yeah, I remember Montel.
He was a guest speaker at our high school.
Yeah, he came to the school auditorium.
And so for the listeners outside of Houston, the high school is Jack Yates High School, located in Houston, Texas. So Montel Williams, before he was a celebrity talk show host, he attended the Naval Academy. And so the day that he came to our school, he gave a motivational speech.
Right.
Mountain, get out of my way.
Yep.
And the catchphrase was Mountain, get out of my way. Which Comedian 96 remembered.
Yeah.
Now, in a nutshell, that motivational speech was about overcoming the obstacles that will be in your way as you navigate through life.
Through life, yeah.
Right? Now, after hearing him speak, it motivated me and gave me confirmation that I was making the right decision by joining the Navy, because I actually had cold feet.
Yeah.
and I wanted to renege. I never shared that story with anybody. But because I heard Montel Williams speak,
Yeah.
that made me say, you know what? I'm going to the Navy. Now, I'm going to say this, too, before we move on. I didn't actually, I had already passed the test, but I didn't actually have a date in which I wanted to go because I still had cold feet.
Right.
But after I passed the test, I literally, after high school, we pretty much was out of there in about 2 weeks
Yeah.
or so.
Well, remember Montel had the Air Force guy with him. Drew. Yeah.
He was he was a pilot for FedEx.
He was a pilot, yeah.
Yeah, he was a pilot for FedEx. But yeah, so shout out to Montel Williams
Yes,
because
man.
we were in an auditorium full of kids, and he had no idea that there was one kid
That was going
that was having cold feet
Yeah.
and reneging about joining the military. But because I heard him and I knew what he was saying, and I also knew that he was a formal Navy, he went to the Naval Academy. He was a Marine,
Right.
but he actually went to the Naval Academy. But because I heard that, they gave me confirmation that I'm on the right track. And I just need to keep pushing.
I can remember that day that he showed up. It was so many kids in the auditorium. I mean, that place was packed, man.
Yeah.
That was a great motivational speech,
It was.
bro.
Yeah,
It was.
that right to this day, I never forget. And because of him, it made me, it pushed me to go. So, and he had no idea that he was going to be
he
helping
did
a
it.
little black kid from Third Ward.
Yep.
It's funny when you mention that, bro, because as soon as you mentioned his name, the first thing that popped in my head was Mountain. Get out of my way.
out of my
That's
way.
why it came out. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
The first thing popped in my head was the TV show he had, the little talk show he did, was similar to the motivational speaking.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was his niche for entertainment.
And he actually wrote a book called Mountain.
Get out of my way.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
Now-
promoted himself.
With that being said, fellas, the tables have turned. And now you're that man. Imagine you're talking to 100 male teenagers between the ages of 15 and 19, and you have to explain to them why women have it harder in society than men. Now, I know K Money and Slash think that
Man.
men have it harder in society. And you guys get an opportunity to explain why you feel that men have it harder in society. But I also want you to make a point, if you can, as to why women could have it harder in society. Now, Comedian 96 and myself, we think that women have it harder in society. Now, with that in mind, imagine you have to speak to 100 teenagers and explain to them why it's harder for women in society today than men. Now, in addition to that, imagine you have a daughter and she's in that same age bracket as those teenage boys, and she's in another room watching and listening to you on a TV monitor without your knowledge as you explain to these young boys. But your daughter's watching and you don't even know. Now, fellas, metaphorically speaking, your brain is a designer duffel bag. Louis V, Gucci, Balenciaga, or whatever you want your bag to be. Now dig into your bag, dig around the niggatry, meaning all of that bullshit that we have floating around in our head, and I need y'all to pull out the intellect. And let's talk about it. Why do women have it harder in society than men? Now, again, K Money and Slash, you guys think men have it harder.
So let me go there.
So, Comedian 96, why do women have it harder?
So remember I told you it was a loaded question, all right? Because I was split between the two because of the era. So back 1974, 60, all that, women weren't jobs, as far as jobs is concerned, they weren't getting the high-paying jobs as they are now. They're getting jobs better than us, getting paid more than us, it's men. But the one thing that has not changed, no matter what era, 19, 18, 17, 16, no matter what era, they still have to take care of the children, with or without the dad, right? With or without the dad, the mom still has to take care of the children. That's why I gave them the edge, because if the dad's there, or if the dad is not there, especially, and that's most of the times, if the dad's gone, abandoned, or passed away, or whatever, the mother is left to take care of the children. At the same time, she still has to work, take the kids to the doctor, take the kids to school, and it's just her. Taking care of the kids never changes, and that's why I gave the edge to the women.
Okay. Now again, I know Slash and K Money think that men have it harder, and you guys will get your opportunity to explain why men have it harder. But I also want you guys to make your point as to why. No, you know what? No. Just explain to me why men have it harder. And Comedian 96 and myself will discuss as to why women have it harder. Now, so for me, now Comedian 96, you made some valid points. And so for me, I believe women have it harder because men dominate the country. Hell, men dominate the world. So whether it's in politics, meaning the lawmakers, men dominate that. Whether it's corporate world, especially the financial sectors, meaning Wall Street, where men outnumber women by a larger number, men dominate that. And even religion, think about it. Who's the holiest person walking the face of the earth today? It's a man, the Pope, Leo the 14th. Now, every Pope has always been a man, and that man is considered the holiest person on earth, because he's considered the successor of St. Peter, who was the leader of the apostles. Now, I'm not going to veer off into religion, so I digress, right? So, I believe that because men dominate the country and or the world, that's why women have it harder. Now, I'm going to dive a little bit further. Comedian 96 touched on the surface level. But because we dominate the world, that's why women have it harder. So you guys tell me, why do y'all think men have it harder?
I actually kind of straddled the fence on this one, and initially when I answered the question, and I know this wasn't part of the question, but because I'm an Afro-American, it was hard for me not to think, and I know I'm not trying to make this a color issue or not, but when I answered it, I was answering it
from
as
a race
black man.
perspective. Yeah.
But I kind of do feel women have it worse than men overall. But
so you're changing yourself?
I'm kind of changing it because, again, when I initially answered it, I was answering on a race perspective, thinking black men had it worse instead of just men in general. And I feel women, Comedian 96 made a great point, but I do want to justify, and I'm gonna go ahead and still kind of justify why I still feel men, even though I say I'm straddling the fence.
Okay, wait a minute, man. Okay, check it out. You know, if you straddle the fence, you're gonna hurt your nuts. Oh, so you gotta get on one side of the fence.
Big split nuts.
So nuts. You gotta jump on one side of the fence, man.
I'm gonna say
I can help you with the men, depending on the era. If he lets me change the era.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. You can do that.
Okay.
And that'll open up a whole new can of worms.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, we can't. We got to get K Money off this fence.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on the female side, man. Reason being, again, although, like you mentioned, men pretty much rule the world, and they do. Females have to prove themselves twice as much as men do to do whatever. Just like Comedian 96 stated, they could do a job as same as a man, however the pay is not the same. So they have to prove themselves twice as much as a man would or does in a job field, in the work field. I think in period, they have to prove themselves twice as much, whatever it is. It's not just employment, but it's in whatever they have to do. They are not given the respect that men are given, even if they are doing that same job. So that goes in addition to them having to prove themselves that they're capable of earning or deserving of that respect. That's all I really can think of right now in regards to the females having it harder, but I know there's a hell of a lot more.
So I still feel like men have it harder. Several different reasons why, and several different places this is going to come from. So I think men have it harder in a sense, and speaking of 2025, it's harder in a sense of a lot of stuff in general, basically family, relationship purposes. I think all of this is harder for a man, a certain type of man. And I'm not speaking from racial, I'm just speaking from mental stability of a man. A real man has, I think, certain feelings for family. And now you have it to where the women will make it hard for a man to even be a man to his children. That's tough on a man that wants to be, on a man, not a child, not a boy, not somebody that don't want to be around. But for a man, I think that's tough because he wants to guide his son or daughter whatever direction they need to be, but because this woman acts a certain way with him, he's not able to. You're taken away from that man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, in the workforce, when a man goes to work, he's expected to do more than what is required of him from any of these companies. I don't care what companies you work for. They're going to say, well, your job requirement is this, but then they'll turn around and add on to that. You know, and that's work purposes. Relationship wise, what makes it harder for a man? What makes it harder for a man is trusting women with him being a man and saying, okay, who do you belong to? Are you single? Or are you married? And especially if you're in a marriage, it's the women make it hard for men to trust. Number one, this is what I'm talking about being hard. They make it hard for you to trust, make it hard for you to guide your family, because hell, they don't want to listen, and then they'll turn the kids against you, and the damn kid don't want to listen. You can't tell the kid nothing. So I think a man have it harder when he wants to be a man, a real man, not one of the guys that's just out here sleeping, smashing, or whatever. I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about a real man who wants life to be a certain way and goes by the perception of what life should be. It's harder for a man to enjoy what life should be. The American dream. Hell, you got to work extra hard to have the American dream. They're not giving it to you. Women make it harder on you, and as a black man, you getting it from every angle. The goddamn kids don't listen to you. The women don't listen to you. They talk against you. The police don't like you. The government ain't trying to help you, and the job don't give a damn. We got it tough.
And can I add on to him, since you opened it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, you can add on to what he's saying. But are you changing your stance?
No, my stance not changing, but I do want to add on to what he's saying. He kind of missed it.
Okay.
Another thing, because he opened his can of worms. He said 2025. I don't know if you heard when he first started out.
Go
So, another thing that makes it, that's why it could be men, because if you think about government assistance,
mm-hmm.
if the men fall off the wagon,
You don't get that.
we have nothing. There's no homeless shelter.
They don't care.
There's nothing.
They
for
don't
a man.
care about the man.
Child support. That's
You
why I
gotta
say
pay
change the era. Change the era.
That shit's
Child
gonna
support.
follow you.
If a woman falls off, she got welfare, child support.
They help her.
to help her out. Housing. But if a man falls off,
He ain't got shit but
there's
himself.
nothing they can run to. And as living proof with my
He ain't got nothing but
before
himself,
my
bro.
brother passed, the living proof. I know people in particular that there's nothing for them. There's nothing out there. If you call, they'll have some places, So it's a year waiting list. I need something today.
Yeah, they don't
if
care,
a woman
bro.
call right now,
They got something for her
They got
tomorrow.
something.
So, okay. Those are valid points. However, I disagree. Let me tell you why I disagree. I disagree because I believe that those things that she have, men have access to those. However, men don't take the necessary steps all the time to go and do that. And they don't take the necessary steps because of pride and ego and laziness.
And let me add on. Some of them don't have the information.
Yeah, okay, that's why I'm going.
Right there.
You know what? That's where I was going. Here's the thing, though. They do have the information. They choose not to read. They have it.
I wish I know where it's at.
I'm going to tell you how they have the information. They have the information from people like the 52 Scott podcast. They have the information from people like their sisters and aunties and all that who's already on these assistants. They have the information at their fingertips with their cell phone, but just by Googling a phrase. They choose not to read, and they choose, for whatever reason, to be prideful and don't ask for help out of possibly shame. And some of them, they will complain and complain and complain, and it's always there. Let me show you something. I know several individuals who got out of prison. They took advantage of food stamps. They got right up on that shit. Mm-hmm. They took advantage of certain housing that allowed them to go in there to get themselves on their feet.
Yeah, that same government assistance program that's
It's
available
there
for women.
for them.
It's there for men too.
They're just not taking advantage.
No, they're not
of that.
as helpful. Don't get me wrong. People that's getting out of prison, yes, it's a little bit easier for them. I'm talking about just a regular dude off the street.
Single father. If it's a single father,
single
he has
father with
access.
a child, that's different. I'm
But
talking about just say she has no kids.
Mm-hmm.
No kids. It's just her.
Mm-hmm.
She has somewhere to go. She has somewhere to go.
Let me tell you something.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Man, I'm telling you. Now, I'm not in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But the same access that she has to stuff, he has to stuff. Now, with that being said, he may not fall on the priority list because there's so many people that are in that situation. Right. And he automatically assumed that they're not going to help me. No, these people been waiting just like you to get into, hypothetical. You got this one apartment that they're going to allow you, that help people to get in.
Yeah.
But you got 4 people on the waiting list and you're the 4th. And the one person above you, the person at the top of the list been on the list the longest, and that person is a single father of 4. And the second person on the list who ain't been on that long is a single mother of 1. Man, I promise you, that single father of 4 who's been on that waiting list longer, he will get that spot if he take care of everything he's supposed to take care of. He'll get that spot. A lot of dudes think that they can't help, that there's no help out there for them, but they just don't take advantage of it. Now, I will say this too. Part of the reason why women have it harder in society is because of male anti-feminism in the form of cowardly men. Let me make that make sense. So, if I ask y'all, if I say decision makers, what comes to your mind? If I say these people are the decision makers.
Government officials.
Say men.
Okay, you would say men. You say government official.
Could be man or woman.
Yeah, but you say entity,
yeah.
Government official. And you say what, Cameron?
I'm saying, you saying if
I say decision makers.
I'm automatically gonna think it's a man making the decision.
Okay, what about you?
I'll say anyone of authority, like government officials. I would say something.
Okay,
Like that, yeah.
so all of y'all are right. If you are a decision maker, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to work in government. But here's the problem: you have you have males who are anti-feminists, to where they are actually cowards. So when they're in these rooms making these decisions, not all of these men agree with what decisions are being made in this room. Not all of these men agree with that. They're actually feminists. But they so scared to step up and say something, to speak up on behalf of the women, and fear backlash. They're part of the problem as to why women have it harder in society.
What I've noticed lately is women are starting to speak up more now on issues that they're dealing with in life that makes it tough for them, which I think is a good thing. But when we as men stand up and try to stand up for our rights and tell people, hey, this is what we need, da 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 da, nobody listen. You know what I'm saying? Nobody listen to us.
So, you know what? I actually agree with that too, Slash.
Yes.
Let me tell you why don't nobody listen to us. I said it earlier at the beginning of the show. Men run this country. We run the world. And so these men are the decision makers. So you got another man looking at another man, and that man is saying, hey, nigga, or hey, white boy, or hey, man, or hey, whoever. I made it. I had to work and pull up by my bootstraps. I got my education. I was afforded the same stuff you was afforded, and it may be a black man in that position. Now you sitting here with your hand out, looking for something, blah, 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 and you don't want to get out there and work. Now I know you needed some little assistance, but in order for you to be a part of this program, I'm gonna put you in this program, but you gotta get up every day and show me that you went out to look for 5 jobs every day.
That's the guy on the corner. You got some guys, I mean, and I'm just saying, you got guys, man, that work hard all their life, you know, trying to abide by what the world wants of him. Mm-hmm. And he still gets treated in a horrible fashion when it comes to a lot of different stuff.
I get it, and the people who are treating them horrible,
it's everybody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Because men run the world, in my opinion, it'd be other men a lot of times. You can look at it from a relationship standpoint. Yeah, we can always do that. We can always have those relationship standpoint, but man, there'd be a lot of other men that make it hard. And I think that women actually have it hard in society because women are more likely to be targeted by violence. That makes it hard for them in society. They're more apt to be catcalled and sexually assaulted. Men don't have to really too much deal with that kind of stuff.
Not necessarily.
Then women, they got to be careful. This is all a part of society. You can't smile too hard at the dude because he gonna think you want it.
Yeah.
And if you don't smile, he gonna think, oh shit, stuck up motherfucker. I opened the door for her. You know. So that makes it harder on women in society.
And see, you know what? On the cool, that does make it harder, but it makes the man. I forget the name they call a man that's a womanizer. That makes him that. And when it comes, and I know the world is full of those, but that guy doesn't belong in society.
But check it out. He too is making it harder for women in society.
Yeah, he needs to get
because there are a lot of them out there.
Yeah, it's a gang of them.
Now here's the thing. Men ain't got to deal with that man.
Unless he's doing something towards your family member.
Yeah, and if he's doing it towards your family member, he's doing it toward a female family member, which again makes it harder for women in society. Yeah. For when you're dealing with that type of man. And on top of that, body image. Who deal with body image? Men don't. Female against other females and men.
I think men do deal with it, but the amount is totally different than the amount that women deal with.
Okay, so I can agree with you. Men do deal with it, but who has it tougher in society?
Females do.
When it comes to body image, they're gonna get it from the man's side, and they're gonna get it from the woman's side.
I think this most recent election has a lot to do with your previous example in regards to feminists, and I think a lot of men chose not to vote for Kamala because she was a female. You know, so that
Angst.
Now,
being one of them. I'm gonna be honest.
Now here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This is just my own opinion. If you are a man with a daughter, I don't see why you're not a feminist. You would want your daughter to have equal rights, but to be treated equally.
Yeah, but at the same time too, if you teach her the right way, she'll get that on her own just from you teaching her right. You know, and I say that because I have 2 daughters as well as 2 granddaughters. And in order for me to get them to understand, you know, what society is about, I have to show them what a man is truly about. Because like, as you said, yeah, men rule the world, but this type of guy and this type of guy is totally different.
Yeah.
So I have to be the upstanding guy in front of them in order for them to understand what a man should be. So when they go out and look for a man, they're going to look for an upstanding man and not this man that's over here that's going to use them or abuse them or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I have daughters around that, you know, and I wouldn't say that I'm a feminist, but I would say that it's a certain type of thing that I show them, you know, when it comes to men and women, basically, you know, if that makes sense.
Well, it does. And so I'm actually a feminist because I believe that women should have equal rights as men. So I'm actually a feminist.
Yeah, I'm a feminist.
Now, here's the deal. The decision makers, and I say that these decision makers are primarily men, they make it difficult, and and you have some anti-feminist folk, right? And they make it difficult. So when you have, in my opinion, if you have a daughter and you look at your daughter, I don't see how no man with a daughter, that's just my opinion, shouldn't be a feminist, because you would want your daughter
to have yeah, that's right.
Yeah, to have the same rights. And what happens is that we get so caught up in gender roles to where we forget a man and a woman, although they're 2 different genders, they're both human beings. So it's not female rights, it's not male rights.
It's human rights.
It's human rights.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's where we get it twisted.
Yeah.
That's where we get it twisted.
Agree.
And check it out. And if you're not careful, you'll listen to the wrong person. And that wrong person, in my opinion, can have you thinking that they talking some good shit. But nah, man, something ain't right with you. And I'm saying man because men run the world, in my opinion.
Well, a man created it.
So, with that being said, man, I'm going to bring it to a close. And let me say this. In 1966, the godfather of soul, James Brown, said, "This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl." In 1990, Ice Cube and Yo-Yo. Ice Cube told Yo-Yo, "This is a man's world, thank you very much." And Yo-Yo responded, "But it wouldn't be a damn thing without a woman's touch." And in 2011, Beyonce asked a question and answered her own damn question. Who run the world? Girls. Well, in 2025, until the day my casket closed, Freddie G say, there's no doubt in my mind that women have it harder than men in this world. But together, the key word together, we can make the world a better place. This concludes another dope episode. Tune in tomorrow for Think Thursday. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.